going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, for some reason, true freshman Jaxson, the quarterback, has not been seen at practice the past couple days. I don't know if he's, you know, getting that knee better, but yeah, it kind of looks like Kedon Slovis might be the starting quarterback because he is out there, and according to a lot of reports, he is, shining out there or showing a lot, looking a lot sharper and looking more consistent. So maybe that performance kind of woke him up because he was the starter. And it looks like Miller Moss, the third string quarterback, might be QB number 2, who is another talented freshman. But yeah, it's just very weird that, sometimes injured players do report to practice, but for some reason he hasn't. So maybe he is getting some treatment inside as well. So you never know. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Then yes, the Lakers have a new sponsor. I kind of forgot who their sponsor has been the past couple seasons because it's usually like on this side because the Nike emblem is on that side. But apparently the company is a Korean food brand based company. So they make like dumplings and frozen food items, I guess. But I believe the name is called BB Go, and it's a 5-year, $100 million deal. So I mean, if a company is willing to pay that much, you might as well. But yeah, I don't know what they'll do with that extra money. It's not like they've really updated the Staples Center that much, but maybe might be time for a facelift because it is LA. Then LeBron James apparently is organizing a Lakers mini camp himself, so he's trying to get all the players together in Vegas to kind of work on everything for a couple days. And apparently he did this before the 2020 season, I believe it was, or that season before that they won the championship. So maybe that little bit of luck might come back, that Vegas luck might come back to LA for them to win the championship again this year, hopefully. Then, yes, the ups and downs of recruiting in college football. Yes, I mentioned last video that USC after the victory got a 4-star corner from Bishop Alemany. I forget his name. It was a hard name to pronounce, but yes, they did pick up his commitment, but they did lose a commitment from a guy they've had for a while now, and running back DeAnthony Gatson. He decommitted the other day, but I don't know if it's more about what's going on at USC compared to what's going on with the offensive line and the running back situation, because it's been pretty up and down and dreadful, because the first 2 games they kind of ran the ball pretty well, which was surprising because they haven't the past couple years. So you thought the offensive line coach Clay McGuire might have found something, and then all of a sudden it gets Washington State. They had a dud. They couldn't get the ball rolling. I think the leading rusher was the true freshman quarterback Jaxson Dart. And yeah, but I mean, yeah, last year they had problems with Washington State. They couldn't get the ball rolling then, but I don't know. It's kind of like weird how it goes up and down, but they are in a spread type of offense. And when Kedon Slovis comes back, I'm sure some things might be better because he might be more aware of where to change the play to once the defense changes whatever. But I don't know. It might be difficult again. You never know, which sucks. Then yes, Duke's incoming freshman AJ Griffin. He's one of the top talented guys that's on the team right now with Paolo Banchero. But apparently, I believe, Banchero signed with CAA, some type of company representing, so he's able to make money now. And apparently AJ Griffin has also signed with the same company, CAA. Don't know what they really do. Haven't really seen them much in stuff. I think Banchero, the other Duke guy, was like the first college player to be featured in that 2K, NBA 2K basketball game, which I guess had never happened before. I don't play that game because it's too difficult. But yeah, we'll see what happens with AJ Griffin. But this is just the process of these popular players starting to get money again. Of course, they never disclose the amount. I don't really read the article, but at least these guys are getting their money, and hopefully it doesn't mess up their performance on the court. And yes, I forgot to mention Sunday about the ex-USC wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr., how good of a performance he had against a tough defense in the LA Rams. I think he had like 10 plus catches and 130 something yards, something like that. It was pretty impressive, especially going up against guys like Jalen Ramsey. So yeah, congrats to him. Hopefully he can continue. And then, yes, sadly, the Chargers at right tackle, yes, they're still missing Bulaga for the next couple weeks, but they still have named Storm Norton, the starting right tackle against the Chiefs. I just don't know what's happening with their offensive tackles, because Trey Pipkins, a guy they drafted, you've heard me tell this story, a guy they drafted in the 3rd round a few years ago, hasn't turned out to be anything yet. He's still on the roster. I don't know why. And Storm Norton was a way backup type of guy, and you saw how much he struggled, against the Dallas Cowboys. He gave up so many things and a lot of technique stuff that he has to work on, according to Coach Brandon Staley, but they're still keeping him out there. And then I believe the best part of the Kansas City Chiefs defense is their defensive line, so they might be eating up that right side, and Herbert might be getting pushed to the ground a lot this Sunday. But I expect them to lose anyways, because it's the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are at home, even though the Chargers won last year, but it was like one of the final games of the season, and the Chiefs didn't need a win, and they didn't play their starters, and the Chargers still barely won. But I believe they need to make a move at a right tackle, be able to make a trade out there for someone. They have a lot of guys, even on defense, they don't really use, including Jerry Tillery. I think if you package Tillery and Pipkins, you could get a pretty solid right tackle. So that's what I would do if I were the Chargers, but they won't. And Antoine Woods, defensive tackle, ex-USC player, who I believe is with the Cowboys again, not 100% sure, but he made a claim saying that he wants the interim head coach that's there right now at USC, Dante Williams, to get a chance to be the full-time head coach. I understand, because it's after a victory. He wants to do that. I've listened to interviews with the coach. He sounds awesome. Definitely know why he's as good at recruiting as he is. Very relatable, but also tells you the right thing and can inspire you. But it is kind of like, definitely it's starting to feel like the Ed Orgeron situation, where there's a very talented assistant with Pete Carroll stuck around even through the Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian days, but they had a chance. They made him the interim coach, had a chance to give him the job. They didn't. He goes to LSU to take that job. They eventually win a national championship. I think it was 2019. So, yeah, USC missed the ball on that one. And if Dante Williams has another good couple games or has a winning record at the end of this year, it could be a similar situation. But I believe that no matter what head coach they choose, the one top priority for them is you will hire you as a head coach, but you have to keep Dante Williams, whether it's as your defensive coordinator or your top assistant coach or something like that, because he is really good at recruiting and pretty good at his position coaching as well, because a lot of those guys are playing well as of right now. So I understand what Woods is saying, but we'll have to wait and see. Then CBS Sports did a mock draft. I kind of don't really follow them because they kind of go all over the place with certain players, but I did notice throughout the whole first round that Keaton Slovis, the quarterback for USC, did not make it, which months ago he was on first round mock drafts, so I kind of understand after his performance. But a couple of guys for my teams that were on there at number 9, Drake Jackson, the defensive end from USC, was selected by the New York Giants. He's been selected there quite a bit. Could be an alright situation. I still have trepidations about how good he is. I know physically he's gotten way better body-wise, but he only has 1 sack on the year, and that's what his position wants. So I don't know if they would get him, but we'll see. And then at number 17, which kind of sucks because they're saying that the Chargers are going to be like what is it, 17 games, so 9-8 or 8-9. So once again, they can't be 8-8, but they'll still be middle of the pack. They would pick a wide receiver in the first round in Treylon Burks from Arkansas. He is one of the more talented wide receivers going into next year's draft out of Arkansas. But yeah, I don't know. I think I might prefer the guy that got picked at number 20 out of USC, Drake London, the wide receiver / tight end who got picked by the Saints in this mock draft. I think he might be a little bit more I don't know why I can't speak dynamic of a player, because you can play him at the wide receiver or tight end position. I don't know. He hasn't really shown at USC that he's good at blocking, which is why I think they've made him an Jaxson wide receiver, which means he's now more on the outside. And yes, he does play inside on the slot sometimes to get a mismatch out there on like a linebacker. But yeah, I think he needs a little bit more help. He actually ended up, I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, his last touchdown catch, because he went off again. He had like another 100+ yards and 2 touchdowns, but that second touchdown he got like thrown to the touchdown area, the red zone, and ended up looking like he had a concussion. But I believe I read earlier today, Thursday, that he was out there practicing lightly, so hopefully he'll be ready to go Saturday night for USC, hopefully. And then to end on some miscellaneous news, yes, the Angels and Airwaves album is releasing, I believe, tomorrow, the 24th. So right around the corner with that. Definitely excited. As of right now, I think there's like 10 or 11 songs, most likely 10, and I haven't heard 7 of them. They've released, I'm sorry, I haven't heard 3 of them. They've released about 7, like videos or whatever. But I think someone just leaked like the last 3 on there, so on YouTube. So I don't know if I want to like listen to them and see how they are before tomorrow. I don't know how good the quality is, so I don't know. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe not. It is Angels and Airwaves, but yes, according to this NME.com interview or review, NME, I never really know what magazine that is, but I do see a lot of like certain bands I like or know pop up on there, so it must be some type of rock magazine, I guess, or email, whatever. But yeah, they gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, which is pretty cool. They had said it was like one of their most relatable albums in years, which is also nice to hear. Definitely by the couple songs they've released already, they're talking about a lot of stuff that's happening now, but also other stuff that's happened before. Yeah, definitely looking forward to listening to those last 3 songs. I would say I've liked 6 out of 7. There was probably one song in there that was kind of like a head scratcher. I still will listen to it, but it is a little bit of a head scratcher. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully y'all will check it out too. And yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Bye down.